I have a show for you today. What up, Dow Mafia? Welcome to another edition of the Dow Mafia Report. Say that you ever get upset with ESPN for never covering our beloved Buffalo Bills. Have no fear, your boy is filling in that void. This is all Bills, and it's all the time. I am not lying, Dow Mafia. I have a very exciting show for you today. I'm going to be going through game by game for the remainder of our 2019 schedule and giving you my final record prediction. And then I'm also going to be covering a little bit of the potential trade moves that the Buffalo Bills can make during this exhausting bye week. But first, we got to talk about Zay Can't Catch for Shit Jones. By now, I'm pretty sure that everybody has heard the news that Zay Jones was just dumped off to the Oakland Raiders for a 2021 5th round draft pick. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we won that trade. I mean, don't get me wrong, when we drafted Zay, I was very, very excited. I mean, look at his college numbers. But I clearly remember when I attended the Buffalo Bills versus the Carolina Panthers 2017 Week 2, when Tyrod Taylor, with 5 seconds left in the game, threw a very catchable pass to Zay Jones that would have ultimately ended up being a game-winning touchdown. And what do you know? Drop. From then on, he was just on my shit list. And then that next offseason, he got super f***ed up and tried jumping off a hotel balcony butt-ass naked. I frankly think that he wasn't the same after that. Mike Mayock seems to be super excited. In fact, there was an article that just came out that he even put Zay Jones ahead of Juju and Cooper Kupp in his draft class. But all in all, full sincerity, I do want to, thank Zay for his time in Buffalo. I know that he really didn't perform the way that we expected him to, but I really hope that he balls out in Oakland. But unfortunately, he just wasn't a good fit for the Buffalo Bills and the offensive scheme that we're currently running. So that begs the question, with Zay being traded, does that mean that the Buffalo Bills are putting their eyes out on potential moves, making a trade to give our offense that next extra boost that's coming right up? And so now, as soon as when the Bills shipped Zay off, it was really only a matter of hours before they started making roster moves. We re-signed Centerized Perry, I think that's how you pronounce it, and then we ended up picking this undrafted defensive end and putting him on our practice squad. So moves have been made. And so, rumors are currently flying right now. Some a lot more serious than others. In fact, if you want to see the purest form of entertainment, just scroll through Twitter the past 5 days and look at some of the tweets that Bills fans were putting out when there was a rumor that Stefon Diggs was coming to Buffalo. I mean, one guy legitimately went on the Stefon Diggs Wikipedia page and said that he was an American wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. One guy went out and bought a Stefon Diggs jersey. And there was rumors that Stefon Diggs and Brandon Beane went to every single restaurant in the greater Buffalo area. For a nightcap, he ended up at Niagara Falls. All jokes aside, was low-key really hoping that this deal were to come through. But then the Vikings ended up responding that they had zero intention of making that trade of Stefon Diggs right then and there. But don't be surprised if they tread back, because everybody has a price. And so I think that adding to Josh's arsenal is only gonna help us out right in the long run. And I truly believe that a receiver like Stefon would be our true #1 option. Next rumor is wide receiver of the Cincinnati Bengals, AJ Green. Honestly, this makes a lot of sense for 3 reasons. Number 1, that man is injured all the time. Number 2, the Bengals are clearly rebuilding at this point, and they need to take as many draft picks as possible to start that process. And then number 3, they already have a very solid core of wide receivers in John Ross and Tyler Boyd, where AJ Green is slowly starting to age out, especially since he can't stay healthy. This begs the question, do we need either of these receivers? Short answer is no. But would I like to see one of them come to the Buffalo Bills? Absolutely. But devil's advocate, since we brought up Duke Williams, who I really think that he is about to have a stellar year moving forward in 2019, and then you account for Cole Beasley, John Brown, and Robert Foster, say that he ever gets healthy again, I really think that our wide receiver core is good. Very, very good. But, I mean, say that a top 10 wide receiver comes marching through our door saying that they want to play for us, I'm not gonna say no. If anything, say that we do end up making a trade during the bye week, I would love to see some additional depth within the offensive line. Maybe even look for a starter. One side of our O-line is pretty weak and it's causing Josh to go off to the right. I mean, our O-line has improved, but it's still not a finished product. So, I mean, I would be more than happy than making a trade for some additional OL depth, or maybe even seeing if we can get a starter to fill in some of our weaknesses that we have already. Let's get into what we've all been waiting for, predicting the remainder of the 2019 Buffalo Bills season. And well done, Mafia. For the first time in a long time, I can say that I am truly confident in this year's season. I mean, we're 4-1, we're going into the bye week, and I'm just ready to scream it from the rooftops. So what's our record gonna be? I thought it would be helpful to go through each game and then give an in-depth analysis, make some small points, and maybe we can figure this out together. Week 7, once we're off of the bye week, the Miami Dolphins coming to town. Ladies and gentlemen, I have never felt bad for an organization than this poor-ass team. I mean, players are requesting trades left and right. Josh Rosen is absolutely trash, and the whole team is just a mess right now. And so to add insult to injury, they're coming up to Buffalo in our home stadium, where we have one of the best defenses in the NFL. This is about the time when it starts getting chilly. I mean, we're 5-1. Now we get into week 8, which is going to be a far more interesting game, where the Philadelphia Eagles come to New Era. Now this game is very hard to predict because the Eagles are so hurt right now, and there's no clear projection of when some of their biggest weapons are going to be back. Whether or not that it's going to be during this week, the week following, next season, we don't even know. But I think that this is going to be yet another test rate of our defense to see how good that we truly are. Luckily for the Bills, the Philadelphia Eagles defense is not good at all. They've been struggling tremendously. They can't seem to stop anything. That's including the run, that's including the pass. And I think that this is gonna be a really good defense for Josh to be able to excel in. But it's gonna be a toss-up. I mean, we have to see how healthy that the Eagles offense is going to be during this game, but I'm still gonna say that we win this game as well. We're going 6-1, sending the Eagles back off to a disappointing season. So the Redskins are struggling in virtually all departments. They just fired Jay Gruden for smoking the devil's lettuce and hitting on girls his daughter's age. And they can't make a decision on who their starting quarterback is. So them and the Dolphins are really just fighting for the first draft pick at this point. We're gonna win this game hands down, and we're going 7-1. And y'all remember when ESPN said that the Cleveland Browns were going to be Super Bowl contenders? Well, the wonderkin Baker Mayfield has turned out to be exactly what Rex Ryan called him, and that's overrated. I mean, he's been struggling left and right. He's not looking like the quarterback that he was last year. I'm not sure whether or not that this is a Freddie Kitchens issue or this is a Baker issue, but their team is not quite there yet to be a playoff caliber team, and I do not think that they are going to win at all, regardless of the fact of whether or not that they are home. We're gonna win this game, and that's gonna make us 8-1. Nine and 1. 10-1. And so right now I understand that you're most likely like, Dan, come on, dude. Be realistic. We have to lose some games this season. Well, patience. Patience, young grasshopper. Because week 13, I have a feeling, is going to be our first loss since the Patriots game in week 4. Not just because it's the Cowboys, it's just because the Bills have historically not performed when it comes to primetime games. And I'm talking about Thursday night football, Monday night football. We just haven't done well. While I think our defense is still going to hold Dak Prescott down and still hold down Ezekiel Elliott, I have a feeling that we're going to drop this game, and that's going to bring us to 10-2. Now, this is where we hit our slump. the Ravens have had our number for the past couple of years. And while I also think that our defense will quiet Lamar Jackson, and I know that the Ravens defense is also struggling, I think that we're going to lose this one as well, which will ultimately make us 10-3. But trust me, we'll have our revenge in the playoffs. Week 15, this is where we bounce back. We are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are a mere shell of what they used to be. Their offensive weapons are gone, besides Juju, of course. James Conner really is not the same guy that he was last year. I think that we're going to win this game. Then it comes to week 16, baby, where we go to Gillette Stadium and then we face off with our bitter rivals, the New England Patriots. Now, I know you're thinking, you think that we're gonna lose this game. You think we're gonna make the exact same mistakes that we did last year, but no, ladies and gentlemen, we're a different Buffalo Bills team. I guarantee you that Sean McDermott and company is going to make the proper adjustments, dissect and look at the tape from week 4. In fact, I guarantee you that they're doing it right now. They're putting together a game plan for this game right now. And I think that our defense is going to shut down Tom Brady once again, but this time, Josh Allen is going to go off. And our offense is just gonna have a field day, and we are going to beat the Patriots convincingly in Gillette Stadium. And that makes us 12-3. And then finally, we have the New York Jets, last game of the season. Sam Darnold will most likely be back, not unless he decides to kiss high school girls again. I think that it's probably gonna be close for 2 reasons. Number 1, CJ Mosley is bound to be back. He definitely terrorized our offense the first game of the season this year. And then number 2, if we go into this game sitting at 12-3, then there's a strong possibility that we're gonna be sitting our starters. Because we just want to make sure that we're good, we're healthy, we're ready to go. Not unless we are in a heated battle for the top seat in the AFC East, then I can see our starters playing this entire thing. But regardless, whoever starts, whether or not that it's some backups mixed in with some of our starters, I think we're going to win this game as well. And we are ultimately going to be 13-3. 2019 Buffalo Bills, 13-3. Now guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, going into the season, I was projected that we were gonna go 10-6, but I really love what I've been seeing from our team this year, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I know that Josh didn't have a too impressive outing in week 4, but I really like what he did in week 5. 13-3, very possible. Worst case scenario, we drop that game against the Eagles and we're 12-4, but regardless, that is still a stellar showing, and it's showing that our team is going into the right direction. Guys, thank you again for tuning in to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. If you're new here, smash that like button, and then definitely consider subscribing. I love to put out a bunch of Bills content, and then I also put out some NFL-centric content as well, with a lot of very exciting stuff coming as the months progress. Say that you want to support the channel, then visit my Patreon. So I give out a couple of cool prizes with some of the later tiers, and that's basically my way to fund my passion and give you guys some fantastic Bills videos. Besides that though, thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Don Mafia Report. We'll see you next time. Go Bills.